Now you know I left that bitch on mute. Every single. Oh, I gotta unmute you. Hold on one second. There we go. There we go. I don't. Will everybody, William, William, you want to tell everybody where? Tell everybody who you are.
All right, so my name is William Schlondrop. I'm the guitar player for Catcher in the Rye. I also started doing booking here in Tampa. I've got a bunch of venues I've been talking to. I've got a bunch of shows coming up. Be sure to check me out on Facebook. I'm working on getting everything established as far as a private email account, etc. Just haven't gotten to that point just yet, but the shows are still going on. I've got bands coming from North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, pretty much all over. And I'm using booking manager and stuff like that, and I'm not going to say trading shows, but in a sense, kind of. But these bands, they want to be here in Tampa, and I want to bring them to Tampa.
So he's the man of all mans.
Yes, and I'm doing everything from like light rock to metal, and pretty much everything in between for the most part. There's on my Facebook page, please go on there, Obsidian Booking, join me and the rest of the gang on there. And that's how we get started, building that community, building those fans, building that trust with other people, other bands, and they're just kind of working together to get stuff done.
It's the only way. Community. I gotta only have one of these in at a time, or otherwise I hear myself talking and it's super weird for me. It's like the inner demons have become real. Just kidding. But yeah, man, a community and working together is definitely the way to go. And you've been out to our events, and we have a whole huge group of people that come out and sponsor these artists, and they do it on their time and their dime, and we absolutely love everything that we have been building, and hopefully we can continue to build some more.
Oh yeah. For people that'll watch it later, it doesn't matter. But I was at the Get Out of Nashville interview that Osment put on at Leo's, and I could say that is a very, very unique experience. I was glad to be a part of that. I'm glad I got to somewhat interview the bands, get up there, ask my question as a musician myself, but the catering you do, the live performance you do, the production value of everything there. Leo's is a fantastic place. To have big shows, to do all this stuff at. And whenever I stepped foot in the door, I could say I was a little hesitant at first, and then as the night progressed, I was like, okay, I understand what she's trying to do, and I'm all about it. Like, I'm all for it. Not just doing this online here and there, but I told you I would help you on some of your other interviews, this and that, if you'll have me. But it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people, got to meet the bands, got to get to know them a little bit better personally, did the whole VIP package thing, and got to eat dinner. That was a very, very unique experience, other than just like a typical show that I would go to. And I was really glad to be a part of that, to be honest. Like that was an amazing night for me just because of what you were doing.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I like that. You make me feel warm inside with that one. Aww. That was sweet. Yeah. We designed it to where it would be like a personal party for them. We wanted it to be more intimate. Interviews nowadays, they're, it kind of like the ones we do online here. It's just like, oh, how'd you get started? It's just like a random same question type thing. This one, it kind of, I wanted to make it a little bit different. So then that way, not only was I asking questions, but the 30 people that pay for the VIP, they get up and ask questions and be on their bands live, regardless if it be, your best friends or even when it's a small, intimate, family type thing, it makes it a lot more meaningful. You know what I mean? And the dinner is basically just because, I just want everybody to sit at my table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really hate it when you felt that energy in high school where you never knew where to sit at because people were just ugly and rude and they it's just I like to leave my table open. Everybody is welcome no matter how weird you are. I'm weird too, dude. So sit
Yeah.
down.
Well,
We
you're dabbling in the metal scene. We're all a bunch of weirdos, to be honest.
I
I know
mean,
I am for
I
sure.
love the dude. I love the metal scene, and they get so much hatred towards the metal scene, and it's not even that serious. Like, I have been playing a couple. I'll ask him that in just 1 second, Tim. 1 second. Uh, we've been playing a couple hard music, and I get some mail, that is quite interesting on the labeling that they give me. Devil worshippers, one, Satanist. God's gonna take care of me. I really hope he does. By the way, for the one that sent that one, I really hope he takes he takes really good care of me. But I I don't really see the big deal in it. I mean, all the medalists that I know, like I was telling you before, um, they 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 look hard and they look rough, but once you get to know the person, it's like dealing with a fluffy unicorn. I mean, it's like one of them peep candies, like with no hard out shell. Like it's just painted black to look mean and aggressive.
I mean, look at some of like our bigger influence. Like for example, George Fisher with Cannibal Corpse with the T-shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah,
I mean, what does he do? I mean, he goes out while he's on tour and does the little grab claw things and donates all the prizes and goes to Target to buy all these stuffed animals and give them to charity. I mean, I just got done doing a charity event here in Tampa for our fallen brother Rick. And I mean, there was so many people that came out to that, and it was all given to the Melanoma Research Foundation.
that was an
You know,
amazing show, dude. That was
that was
I.
it was a great show, great energy, great people. And I mean, some of these characters you look at, like for example, I'm going to say the haters that come on, you know, my band's page and tell us the same thing on our TikToks, on our this and that, like God's going to smite us, all this and that with the religious stuff. And it's like if you were to actually look into what we're doing for our lyrics, for our musical inspiration, and actually give it a listen, not just turn it on. Oh, I don't like this. He's screaming all the time, but actually give it a listen. I mean, a lot of it is a lot of anti-religion. It's about, hurt. It's about pain. It's about, being depressed and how we overcome that. It's about suicide. It's about a lot of these things. I mean, it's all there in the music. And I mean, that's a hard thing to go through with the labeling. And I mean, the ones that know us personally, they know what we're all about. And the guys that I play in a band with, I don't really care what others have to say about those guys. It's more, I treat those guys like family. They treat me like family. We're 2 hours away from each other, but I know if I need help moving my refrigerator, I can call one of them and they'll be here. No problem. It could
Well,
be
it's like a separate marriage. You know what I mean? I mean, being in a band is literally like um, you know, uh, we are gonna roll in now. Tim wants to know. Let me look at this question again. Hold on. Who is some of your biggest influences in music?
All right, so biggest influences. I know I'm wearing the Cannibal Corpse T-shirt, but that is actually not one of my biggest influences. I do have John Petrucci's signature guitar back there. I have 7-string Warlock back there for Slayer. I listened to a lot of them growing up. Me and my brother both did, and then he somehow converted to hip hop music, which I didn't understand. But I mean, everybody's got their preference. Big fan of Trivium. Always have been since high school. Still listen to their new stuff today. To me, I enjoy Matt Heafy's just his lyrics. I enjoy as much as they've done, 13 albums in a band for as long as they've been out, I mean, and they're still touring, they're still doing what they're doing. To me, that's an amazing feat. I hope to get to that level to where, my band is just releasing an EP on 420 with a music video for Obituary coming out. But I mean, that's a 6-song EP. I would love to be that guy in 10 years that says, yeah, I've dropped 9 albums. That's the dream. That's what I want to do. And that's what I think, to be honest, the way that my band is going, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
Everything, we get along so well. It's just like, there's no bickering, there's no fighting. It's like, we just get together, we have fun. That's what it's about. I mean, we'd like to make money, don't get me wrong, but we have a lot of fun. No matter, we play small shows, we play big shows, we just go out to shows. I mean, I go to shows that I'm not even playing at. I promote shows that aren't even mine. I just like to go out and have a good time. I like to enjoy the scene. I like to enjoy the people I've met over the years. I've been doing this 5 or 6 years.
Even if it's not your type of music, metal, like, okay, I'm going to say it like this. Dude metal was never my type of music until I put myself out of the element to go to another person's show. And when I did, I ended up absolutely loving it. I was always into chick metal, In This Moment, Evanescence, Flyleaf, Kitty, like really, and there's a huge difference now in between dude metal and chick metal. And yes, there are awesome chicks. There are awesome chicks that can growl like dudes, but
I mean, most people can do better job than I can. That's why I play the guitar. I mean, I'm just being honest.
But then I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? And then the community in it alone is awesome. They say that, metalists don't have, a whole lot of like promoting sense. And that's so not true. I mean, the community that is in the metal group alone is phenomenal. And the family that you can have within it is even more so. It's just like any music avenue. You just have to be careful because there are shifty people out there. And, unfortunately, they do exist. Unfortunately. We are going to rock out some music, guys. I know we've been just on here talking, but we are going to rock out into some music. I do want to share this new one with you. I found this. So where is it at? Okay, so this is Poet Bones, and this is called Back of My Mind. Okay?
Okay.
Be right back.
Fingertips, knocking the still taste your pressure.
was Poet Bones.
All right. Well, I can say it actually sounded good. It's got a good groove to it. Reminded me of like a heavier, more groovy, like a Perfect Circle in a sense. I guess that might be the vocalist.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the music, the production sounded great. I mean, the video quality was all there.
Yeah, I thought the video quality was really good. He had a nice little clear but rough like tone to him. It wasn't no screaming or anything like that, but like he, nice little almost grudge rocky feel.
Yeah.
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 Here's another one. So this is called Straight from the Sun. The band's name is The band's name, sorry guys. The band's name is Straight for the Sun, and the song is called Walk. So here is Walk from Straight for the Sun. straight for the sun with Walk. What do you think?
I can see we're getting a little heavier as we're going through the night, at least in the first, from the first song to the second song. It is a little bit.
Oh, you want heavy? Oh, I got heavy.
I mean, and the Cannibal Corpse shirt. I do play for Catcher. Come on.
I mean, yes, but we support all kinds of music. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. But no, it sounded great. It sounded good. I did like how they did the lyric video with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your traditional, which I've had music done like that, where it's like, the lyrics on like a background.
See, I'm a mixture. I like a lot of heavy, but I like my mid-tone and like kind of mixture, like with tone and scream. Okay, so I'm going to show you a tone and scream. Here we go. Here is, Final Moments, Chasing Airplanes, tone and scream. I think you'll like this one. I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I've never been one to just do what you say.
All right, so Chasing Airplane, a little bit more my style. I could say that definitely. I actually have heard of this band before I even got on this show.
Yes.
I believe they've actually just got done playing Tampa like maybe a week or two ago, and then I did see the flyer for them playing the Crowbar May 13th.
We did an interview before we did Rock Rage Radio, and we interviewed goodness gracious, what the heck is this? Kyle, the lead singer, Kyle, and that's in the YouTube if you guys want to check that out underneath the live section. Kyle with Chasing Airplanes. We did interview them, and that's when I was teaming up with Massive Media, and Massive Media, I sent them Massive Media's way. Massive Media got a show down here, and that's probably a show because they are in a Tampa, like a Tampa band.
Yeah.
So like they, but amazing guys. That is their Final Moment song, but also the highly qualified song that they have out is freaking fabulous too as well. And it's actually spelled like qualified, you know.
Okay. I got meme flyers in my work office as well. But no, I did see who's throwing the event. I guess it's a 152 booking or productions. Would probably be the ones who were putting on the show. But I do know it's going to be May 13th at Crowbar. By the looks of the roster, I mean that show will probably sell out, which will be great. So I mean, for sure, definitely, I would like to go see them live. I did like the guitar work in that song. You know, so far as the rhythms and leads.
The fucking green suit, dude. Did you see the green suit?
Yeah,
that was priceless. I love it. Like when I first seen it, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
They have my money on.
Yeah. Then I did notice in the production of their music video, like I seen the one guy with a 7-string Ibanez iron label. I do not have one of those. I have another Ibanez that's off-site to the camera there, but I mean, it is an iron label, but the fabulous guitars. So, I mean, they take pride in what they do. They've invested, that's for sure.
Speaking of guitars, okay, let's see if you can tell in this one. This one's a little bit more punky, more skater, but there is some screaming in there. The name of the band is called Sorry Pluto, and the song is called Booty Clappin'.
Okay.
Nothing to do with booty clapping, but this is Sorry Pluto.
It's business. My body up against the wall, just to see if I can make it fall. Still have that feeling that no matter how hard, it will always be standing tall. I used to keep my head down, doing anything to leave this small town, but it doesn't even matter. It's been more than a decade. This place hasn't changed at all. You should have known that it's so much more than these empty streets and these broken homes. To deep inside, why would I break things running through the streets on days with back roads? And then you turn on your rider, a constant reminder that you turn and run.
And now I cannot believe how long it took me to leave, reminding me that there was so much more that I couldn't see.
as fast as this car can take me. Pick me up so you can push me down, so you can push me down. Rushing forward till the silence breaks my spirit once again. But I never realized that you could pick me up so you can push me down again.
So okay, so that was more the punk scene of it. Again, another Ibanez Iron label. You know, the Strandberg that was in there, the headless. You know, I'm a fan of headless guitars myself.
See, I knew nothing of a headless guitar when I first seen that video. At first, I was thinking that he was playing with, what is that thing? The that fucking game.
Guitar Hero?
I thought it was like, I was like, what kind of guitar is that? Like, and he laughed at me because he's like, no, and he's like, it's just a really expensive guitar, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, but we did do an interview with them, and it was super funny. I mean, their energy is super silly throughout the whole freaking video. Their energy just makes you want to just, I mean, go and like.
Oh no, that's for sure. Even from that video, like I said, I've never heard of this group before, but like just watching the video, you could tell that they had a good time shooting the video. They had a lot of fun doing it. They love what they're doing in their music, and I mean that's what it's all about. I mean, I'd probably go to one of these shows just to hang out with those guys, have a good time. That's for sure. You know.
Yeah, like I feel like so the vibe I get off of them is like when me and my brother were in high school, we used to listen to like Blink 182. My mom was a very big into church and stuff, so we went to a lot of Christian punk, MXPX. You know what I mean? Like it just that back then. So they give me that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It's like. Yeah. But then the screaming on top of it, it makes it so much better. So much better. All right. So we're going to go into listening to this one, and I know you'll love this one. This is a good friend of mine, and I say that I've never met the guy, okay? But I found his stuff, and I loved the song and the way his high pitched growl is, his low growl. I mean, everything in the video was like, yes, right? Just loved it. And ever since I've been playing his stuff, he gets on here, he likes my stuff, he shares it to his page, like #1 freaking supporter. Even sent me like this little like thing right here. Let's see if I can whip this out. He even like sent me this thing, and then they like all like signed it and stuff. Like I felt so freaking popular. I was like, yo, that's so cool. But the dude's name's Ryan, and he is the lead singer of the Tiven band. It's TITVN. And this is their song, and it's called The Alpha One. So I'm going to play it real quick. And they recorded this in this dude's basement, and this video is just fucking phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. All right. Tiven, Alpha One.
right, so I actually enjoyed that. That was phenomenal. You could tell what those guys did to make that video. I mean, it seemed like, you know, very low budget, but I mean, they made it work. I mean, it's a good video. I mean, I actually enjoyed listening to it. I think the only thing, I guess as a musician, I would do any differently in that mix is I would turn up the vocals just a little bit in that mix. I don't know if that's just the maybe when they converted it to YouTube or whatever, because that does happen every now and again. Other than that, it sounded great. Like I could definitely see those kind of guys doing shows with us. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's freaking, and he's blowing up on the charts, man, with that song. Like he's doing it all on his.
It's a good song. It sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, he just, I don't know, man. I ran across that and I was like, what? And then he's like, and what, right where in that part where he's like, you only have one life and that's okay. His voice, he's like, you only have one life. And I'm like, yes, that's so hot. You know, he laughed at me too. You know, we had an interview with him. He's such a down to earth guy, and just, you know, really, really awesome. So go check out his stuff, guys. I know you're gonna love this next band. Okay, this one I know for sure it's gonna be your all-time favorite.
I don't know. That's gonna be kind of hard to beat because I actually really dug that.
Okay.
We'll see, you know my music taste. Let's all right.
Okay, let's see if I got it. Hold on just one second.
The war had all but ground to a halt in the blink of an eye. The weapons had evolved, but our orders remained the same. Hunt them down and kill them one by one.
I am the dead!
want to know what I love most about that song? The fucking creepy little doo doo, like at like one of the scariest movies from when I was a kid was like, what was that movie, Pet Cemetery or something? And it had that shit in there, and that's what I think about the whole song. Is I'm like, but I love the way he was so theatrical with his like performance too. Like that was like, it made the whole video, like made it.
So fun fact is, when we shot that music video, we did our own production on that video. Like, we have all of our videos. Dante is phenomenal with that. He loves doing it. So we just keep having Dante do it. Like, when we do our music videos, it's like we all just get together. That music video in particular, we all just got in a van on, like, I think it was a Saturday, and drove to St. Augustine, and we're in full get up, you know, all the paint, all the makeup, everything. And we're walking around downtown St. Augustine, in the middle of the day, which seemed to be like a festival or some type of parade going on. I mean, it was busy. There were people everywhere. And I mean, they thought maybe we were a part of an act that was going on downtown. We had people taking pictures. We were on people's social medias. People were stopping us, asking us, hey, where are you guys playing at? We're like, we're just shooting a music video. And we did that during the daytime. Then we ended up getting back in the van, going to the hotel, checking in, wait till it got dark, and went back and shot the rest of the music video at night. So we did all of that production and everything in a day. And then it was a hell of a lot of fun. That was probably one of the best moments I've had with this group, with these guys, was doing, when we do our music videos, when we all get together and just, instead of just focusing on, hey, let's write music, let's do this, let's get everything out there. It's like, man, let's enjoy ourselves. Let's get out there and let's have fun. Let's make a music video. It could be quirky. It could be stupid. Like, we don't care. It's just, as long as it's awesome. Like, and that's what matters to us is, getting it out there, two fans, two people that want to listen to us, but at the same time, like, we just have a lot of fun doing it. Like, it was a phenomenal time.
Athena said, that's scary shit. I love it. She also said the theatrics make it so much better, and I believe they remind me of, okay, so she said y'all should see this, but then it's spelled like this. So teratoma.
Okay.
I haven't seen that.
And then it's they remind me of guar. So, well, that's a compliment for me there. It is kind of a weird dynamic, because if you notice, like, in the video, it's very vampire themed, and it's so hard to pull off that vampire look for me with this big beard. I just look like a wizard in everything I do. So, like, I could put in the teeth, I could do everything, but everything covers everything. I was like, there's no point. Like, I'll be the grave robin. I'm the one that's digging up these vampires, I guess. I was like, I don't know.
I mean, everybody needs one of those guys that protect the cemetery. There's the perfect look with the trench coat and the hat. Like, that would be, you would look like the guy off of, what's that movie with
like
the Burning Skull? Well, that one too. That one too. Okay, so this one, I really like the production on this video that I'm about to show you. It's called The Ghost of Me, and they did it all out at one of his buddy's properties. And the dude, we had him on for an interview just the other day. He is just one of the most down-to-earth guys, absolutely loves sunsets. Like, we were talking early in the morning, so, like, he was out at work and there was this beautiful sunset coming over. So anyway, he's again a gummy. I like to call my medalists gummy bears and in unicorn costumes, I guess. I love me some metalheads though, man. They're just fucking beautiful people, beautiful humans. Okay, this is Cerebral Discretion. Here you go. Ready?
All right, now that was good. That was good. I like what they did. I like the composition, the way the music flowed, everything. That was good. Are they a Tampa band?
Hold on just one second. Let me go here real fast. No, they're not. They, I believe he's in Texas. This is the name. Hold on, I just put it in there because I totally forgot to do it during the video. But that is the name of the band. So if you guys want to check them out, they do have another one too as well. That's this shed of skin, which is really good. It's a really good song. It's a little bit more harder than that, but I like the fact that his growls are very low but still so clear. Like he, sometimes when you hear a growl, sometimes you really can't tell. Depends. So I like it when they're very demonic but very clear.
Yeah.
Demonically.
Well, if they do ever decide to come play in Tampa, I would like to see them hook up with like our Tampa bands that are catered to that, like
Yeah.
My Virus that's out there in Melbourne or Vero Beach area, Indorus. I mean, all those two bands right there with those guys would make a good show in itself. And I mean,
Yeah, and they like those guys right there, and they're very, you know, they're very down to earth people. So, send him a message, tell him you got the information from me, and he's very kind. I told him I'd pass out his information. So if you want to book a show with him, definitely just send him a message and just be like, hey, Osment sent me your way, and he'll be like, okay. I mean, that's how it works, man. That's how it works.
That's it. It's doing stuff like this. It's doing the community. I see fans in here on the chat log. I see T was in here, but IT. I don't know if you're still in here. There's a few other ones I can see the comments in. I appreciate everybody participating and coming and joining us.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
what it's about. It's about the fans asking questions about bands meeting other bands and following the fan base and this and that. I mean, everybody has I'm going to say it like a niche in a sense. Like you cater to one specific genre more than you do any others, and those are the shows you go see. Those are the shows you don't miss. That's more or less what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah.
people,
I like to mix my genres. I'm a big fan of heavy metal. I'm a big fan of grunge rock, and I'm a big fan of, people think that rock is dead, but rock is everywhere. Like
oh yeah,
everywhere. It's just there's not enough, support for it, and that's my main goal within it all. We've got Athena Harrison in the chat too as well. She is an amazing supporter. She goes out and sees her date nights are on the weekends, and that's when she goes and sees shows, man. And she supports the bands for free. Has a group too as well. So Athena, if you'll put that in the chat, everybody can go check that out too as well. But she's awesome, and she shares my stuff tremendously. What a great support to have behind you. It's great when everybody comes together and shares stuff, so then that way we can kind of get the word out. There we go. Here we go. Right here.
there it is.
Yes. So, and she's thriving on that too as well. She's got a couple thousand on that page. So go like it and share it and see if we can't get her numbers a little bit more further up. She does a lot of support in the local area. She's out of Alabama, so she kind of travels everywhere. So hopefully we can't get her down here in Florida and have her come to some of our stuff too as well. Where are you at?
I see what she's saying in here. She's been 4 months old with the page, groups, bands, pages. Love supporting not just the music, but the scene itself. I mean, and that's ultimately like what we're trying to do. I mean, me and you, for example, how did me and you meet? We were at a Brass Mug show on a Tuesday, got to talking about shows and got to talking about, really we were just bullshit in a sense. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, guess who I'm talking to? Like for me, I was like, oh, I didn't realize who you were. I was like, oh, well, this is Rocker'S Radio. Oh, cool. You know, it's like, all right, well, we got along.
You know, it's so funny. To go from, I mean, you got to know that I started this business homeless in a hotel. You know what I mean? Like I was nobody, and I was treated like I was nobody. So it's really flattering when you go somewhere and you're like, oh, that's Osment from Rocker'S Radio, and I'm like, oh wait, you know me? Like,
Yeah.
you know me? Like, it's kind of like a gullible moment almost. Like, oh wait.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're at the shows and when you're at, you know, at the bars and stuff like that, at the shows, you know, you kind of tend to overlook certain things, and that's what I did at first was, you know, me and you just started chatting, we started hanging out, just having a good time. You know, my wife was with us, like everybody had a phenomenal time at that show.
Yes.
And then it was later on, it was like, oh, well, you were talking to Osment from Rocker'S Radio, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, it was like, you know,
But you guys were so, I mean, you guys were very nice and very welcoming, you know what I mean? And I think that's what it's all about is, you know, just realizing that everybody's a human and, you know, yes, yeah, you know, everybody is a human, and we just, you know, we're all here to make ourselves better. And if you can't tell, so most of these songs, some of them are brand new or that I've just like picked up, you know, but most of them I've had on repeat for a while. I mean, Will, I've had your song on here since, you know, well, since I asked you, so, you know, but the reasoning, if you listen to the lyrics and the songs that I play, like it's basically me sharing my playlist with you. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but sharing someone's playlist, that's pretty damn personal. So, like, I mean, and most of these songs are about like overcoming, you know, darkness and going upward. And, you know, this one right here, for instance, this one's a good one. So this one touches like a big part of like my earlier years. I was a dancer for 15 years, had a lot of toxic traits, a lot of negative people in my life, which led to drugs and alcohol and trying to recover from that. You know, it took me almost 5 years to get my ass out of that very dark spot. And this song right here it touches my heart in that area. So you'll see. And this is Suns on Fire with Rise.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely get the delivered message and behind it, overcoming addiction, everything else. The music itself reminded me of a band I used to listen to in high school, Edema, and they did a lot with stuff like that about overcoming addiction and you know finding help. And there are people out there like, for example, you do have hotlines, you do have this and that, but at the same time, a lot of people I've met over the years that have had those problems for whatever reason. I don't know if it's pride, if it's guilt, if it's whatever it may be, but they just tend to stay quiet when they do have loved ones they can talk to and people who actually do care. You know,
Well,
and it,
people that normally, hide those kind of things. Speaking of, being one of those people, I, was in a very forced adult energy when I was a young child. I had my mom was single with 4 kids, so it was, our job to, be grown before we were grown. So handling things on my own was something I was taught to do. It was something that was enforced in me. And, so having other people come in, when you have those, it's basically like I should be able to do this by myself. And sometimes you're absolutely right. You can't do it by yourself, but knowing that the people that are around you in your state now are only in your state because your energy level is vibrating at a certain frequency. Once you start changing your life and changing things for the better for you, for yourself, then your energy level starts vibrating at a different frequency, which means that now the friends that are your friends, probably won't be your friends in the future, only because of the fact that you're not going to connect with them the same as you used to, because your energy is different, you know.
oh, absolutely. And I could say this with the group that I'm in now. Um, we all have our personal lives. We all go through our own stresses with work, with our personal stuff, this and that. But I can say without a doubt, these guys are like family to me that I'm in this group with, because if I have any type of ill will, if they're like, hey, you haven't been in the band chat, hey, you're not liking this, or hey, you haven't been communicating, hey, what's up?
Right.
And all of us are like that in this group. We have some that are dealing with depression, some that have dealt with depression before, and we know each other well enough now to where we pick up on the signs immediately, to where I can go to my guys and be like, hey, something's wrong. What is it? What's going on? Like, and then
Right.
we all know, being in a band is like, like you said before in this, like a second marriage.
It
you
is,
know
man.
it is. It is. If one of us goes down, we all go down, because I mean that's the kind of people we are. We're in it together. And it's making sure everybody stays together, making sure everybody stays happy. We all deal with stuff, but we're all there for each other. And I can say that is probably the best thing that I've felt in a long time, being in a band, is having those kind of people around me.
Yeah. Well, and putting music together, I think people tend to forget, when you write music, you're in a very emotional state, and then again you're adding energy upon energy upon energy. That person that listens to your lyrics, that writes that guitar rip that goes through it, he listens to that, and what he feels off of that, that's what he puts into his quote unquote lyrics of the song. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, being there, and that's why I state that it is like a second marriage, and it's not only because of the commitment that goes with it, but the emotion and the if you're not on a same soul level with each other, and have that connectivity with each other, then you're not going to thrive as a band. And
No,
having that, and it's like finding the perfect marriage. I know that sounds dumb as hell, but it really is, because if you get on stage with people you can't stand, like, come on. how do you think that's going to go when you go on tour, or
Yeah.
when you're sleeping in the same bed when the van breaks down on the side of the road and you only have one cover? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to work? You better figure out your gay bone really fast. That's all. I
Yeah.
mean, but you know, I love it because I love, you know, I love seeing people being able to community together. And a band is just that. It's people that meet together on one dream and try to make it work. And you know, society nowadays has tore people down into believing that it's just got to be one man, one woman, and one woman doing all this and one man doing all this, and it's so not true. I mean, everybody should know that it takes a village to run any kind of thing, anything. I mean, I would be nothing without, you know, the people that stand behind me on my interviews. You know, this show would be nothing if I didn't have, you know, John with Rocker'S Radio supporting me too as well. You know, I've got a lot of people that I've helped, and the reasoning, you know, I still have them in my corner is because, you know, I genuinely love and take care of them. And you know, that's love, peace, and harmony. It sounds gay as hell, but it all works.
It does. It definitely does work. I can say like we our new single, or I'm not going to say single, but it's part of our EP when we all got together and we wrote Obituary. That's a very, very sad song. I mean, it's still heavy, it's still this and that, but the meanings behind it are are there. And I mean, that'll drop on, you know, April 20th. Um, I would definitely check it out, this and that, but it was written with a purpose of, in a sense, sadness.
Right.
And we all felt it from that. And then when the vocalist Warnie and Dante just started, you know, collaborating on, you know, the vocals for it and this and that, I mean, it evolved into something that was like, even to this day, um, whenever I listen to it, it's like I feel like I'm at a funeral. Like I feel like I'm looking at my ghost, you know. And you know, for all of us to come together and create something like that, it's fantastic, but at the same time, it's scary at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Just
that
because of the connection we all have with each other. That, you know, I went from writing in my room, which is this room right here. I went from writing a simple, you know, dark type sounding song to it evolving into what it's become, and it's, you know, it was like all of us were on the same wavelengths, you
Yeah.
know, and it just come together, and it came together very, very easily.
well, you know, uh, sometimes it does come together easily. Sometimes it takes, you know, quite a bit of fuck ups
Yeah, no,
to hit that right note. You know what I mean? We have, you know, with you've come out to our interviews before, and you know, the amount of teamwork that is put into, you know, supporting these artists. I couldn't ask for a better team. You know, we Leo with Leo's Live, he is just completely amazing and lets us, I mean, we've hit dead after dead, you know what I mean? Like trying to get the community to come out and support these local artists when nobody really knows, you know, who they are. We've ran into some issues with that. But you know, we still keep coming out, we still keep showing up, and still keep, you know, trying. And I see the work ethic in all of them, and it's phenomenal to have them on my team. It's phenomenal to be able to say that, you know, we built this together, and you know, we literally have made it thrive together. Am I the face and the head of it? Yes, but I would, you know, you chop my head off without my team, and I ain't got nothing to run on. Absolutely nothing. I'd be looking
You,
like,
and I can say this: you are a very, very humble woman, because you do give a lot of credit for what you do to everybody around you. You know,
oh,
you're not one of those people that's just like, this is my show, this is how we do it, this is what I want to do. But you weren't like that at all when we were over there. You were, you know, you were a team player. You were like, this is the way I would like it to go. But at the same time, it's, you know, it's everybody involved, you know, the photographers, the film, the bands itself, the people who came out, you gave options. You were willing to pretty much work around any obstacle to make it to where it was a fun time for everybody. And like I said, whenever I come out to Leo's, and I did the one with Get Out of Nashville, I had a great time. I met a lot of cool people. I met people I've never met before in the scene, in that area. I mean, I had a blast.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel uncomfortable, not a second that I was there. And
no, and that's the cool part, I wanted to be able to create an atmosphere where everybody could be their self. I didn't want it to be a traditional interview type thing. I knew, we literally started going. My idea was to go to the bar and sit at the bar with my phone with the artist and have drinks and just show our ass. Like, that was the idea of my interview at first. And then Miss Holly with Around Winter Haven Neighbors and Around Lakeland Neighbors, she came in with the community group and showed me how to use StreamYard, and she sponsors our StreamYard. She literally makes sure that we have a program to go into to run the morning chats, all the lives that we do. Those are all thanks to her. She helps me, and any kind of learning atmosphere. If there's a new thing that comes on here, she makes sure she calls me, talks to me about it. I mean, and I couldn't have done it without her. The first couple interviews, she came out, helped me do the food. And, like I said, we had 2-3 people, for the longest time, and then like 5 people, then 6 people, you know what I mean? But what we had to learn was that it wasn't about the people. We would have a full freaking force on the internet. You know what I mean? And we were putting on this show, and there were people online watching, but there were no people in the seats. So learning to not get discouraged because there's not people in the seats, learning that you can have fun and enjoy yourself with just it being the people that you got that support you. We do charge, for the interviews for people to come in and get the VIP tickets to join in. That helps with the dinner and everything like that. But that's the only thing I have that I make money off of is the interview stuff, because I'm a single mom of 3. So we do these chats, these morning things, this music plays all for free. I mean, we don't ask for any funds off of this. And at first, for a whole year, we didn't ask for any funds off the interview either. But then with me, being a single mom and this being the only thing that I do, it began to, I didn't have no money. You know what I mean? It became, so then we started charging, started inviting 30 people at $50. And that was enough to help me and my crew be able, for me to get through the month, literally skim teeth, bottom line. And for me to be able to give my team a little bit of something before they leave. So this way, we're not, killing ourselves to come out and, do what we're doing, but we're still giving away, music videos with known productions. The artists walk away with, and most of the time Paul's overly nice. Like, he will give them the footage. I tell them they have to buy the footage and he'll just give it to them. You know what I mean? Like, and that's sometimes, not all the time. So don't think like if you got an interview, you're going to get all the footage. It just really depends on how much Paul likes you. And Paul is such a giving guy, like, you know what I mean? And he's so willing on learning. His videos, we started out, he was not, he didn't, do them all the time. So he was just beginning on doing them, and he's rocking ass now. He's joined a class at Full Sail to help his, stuff further on. So, not only are we, sponsoring people in their dreams, but, we're basically, making them want more, from that dream itself. I mean, Barbara with BabarazziPhotos. I mean, she's phenomenal. Her talent, and Sonia with Gunshot Photography. I mean, she comes out, she's our newest person out. And the one that you went to, that was her first interview there, but she's so like young and energetic and ready to go, and just provides such an awesome feed. we're going to be going out on the 25th to Ybor City and doing photography. Doing my photos for Rock Rage Radio. So we'll be doing it in Rock Rage Radio attire, and then we're asking the bands from around town to send a shirt or just meet up with me and give me a shirt. So we're going to be taking band shirt photos out there. So we'll kind of crop top it, and we're doing it at like the Hookah Lounge and like right outside that graffiti building. So I think that that's kind of cool, you know. And then on the beach, you know, we got to have the dreads in the water with the whole flip haircut thing. You know, I thought that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you know, everything's it's coming together, and you know, the support is just beyond amazing, and I hope and pray that everybody, you know, that I can reach levels so then that way I can bring everyone behind me up with me. That is my main goal. You know, I don't want to become rich and famous to be rich and famous. I want to become rich and famous so I can make my friends rich and famous. Like that is what is most important. And, you know, everybody likes the face, and that's cool and that's gravy, but this face is just a face. I would not be anything without, you know, the people that have, you know, John with Rock Rage Radio, he helps me on a daily basis, like, you know, things that I need to, you know, keep in check, you know, making sure people aren't running over me, making sure, you know, because music business is evil, man.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I've done shows and favors for bands. I will not give any names out that I've done stuff for that. You know, at the end of the night, you know, all they wanted to do was complain about everything when they did absolutely nothing. I mean, I've booked shows with bands that, you know, they want all the attention, they want the headline spot, they want this and that, but they didn't even promote they didn't promote themselves.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I don't care if you're from this area, if you're not from this area, you know, be proud of what you're doing and what you're getting out there. At least, you know, social media is very easy. I mean, for me to take my phone and post a flyer right now takes literally no time, like 2 minutes, not even. You
Well,
know,
if you don't have like flyer stuff, you know what I mean? Canva. Canva is super easy. Like it's download $13 a month, and you can. I mean, it is super simple. It takes a little bit to get used to it. But I mean, building a flyer like that is like, I mean, I know I'm kind of giving my secrets away here.
no, I mean, I use Canva, and it's a wonderful platform. My wife got me onto it. She was doing it with her school, and then just sent it to me, and then I signed up for it, and that's how I make my flyers is on Canva.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very easy to do. But I mean, even if you were to go and make a flyer and make this and that, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest at doing that kind of stuff or even promotion in itself, but I do what I can when I can. Like my band has a show on April 20th in Tampa at the Brass Mug. So I've got flyers printed out. I'm going to go to a local show the week before, put the flyers out, and put cards out. I'm going to do this and that.
What time is that show? Because I have it on my calendar. I have Will Brass Mug, but I don't have a time.
So doors will open at 6. Show will be at 7. And this is day one of our EP tour run that we're doing. We're going to be doing Thursday at the Brass Mug. We chose the Brass Mug because Brass Mug has been home to me for the longest time. I've played there for years. I love the people that go there. I don't really care about all of the BS that goes behind the Brass Mug with the stuff that's happened in the past, pre-COVID, during COVID. I don't care. Every time I've gone to the Mug, I've always had a good time. So I can care less what other people think.
You know what? Every time I go to the Mug, I get stuck on that damn stripper pole. Every damn time. I kid you not. I listen.
That's why we put the camera there during the event show.
Yes, yes. Look, I couldn't get up there during a cancer benefit. What? Well, I would look terrible. Unless I had like some pink ribbons or something, then they might have said, you know, okay, she's got the cancer ribbons. It's fine. But I don't know. You have to understand. For 15 years, that was like my getaway. Like listening to music as loud as I possibly can while I drunkenly spun around a pole.
If that's what you enjoy doing, keep doing it. I mean, for the
do.
most part, it's
love
just
it.
like the music we put out. It's just like our stage performance. It's a lot of bands out there. Like, we enjoy what we do. We love doing what we do. We're going to continue to do it whether you like it or not.
Well,
You know,
I mean,
even if we don't have shows, even if we don't have this and that, I guarantee me and the boys are still getting together and jamming. You know,
I've
that's our
got a lot more that I like to do than just, you know, shine bright. Yes. I mean, I could do you could do the robot poorly. Athena said. Listen.
Hey, I see Athena's comments on here, and it's just like, oh, I could do the robot poorly. I wish I could dance. I mean, who cares? Don't let people judge you.
Just, exactly. And I told her I'm trying to convince her to get on here with me and host a show with me, and I think she would be fabulous. But she does. She needs to come out of that shell, and I rightfully don't care. And that's what I used to care about what everybody else thought and what everybody else did, and if I was going to look bad to them or if they liked me, I don't know. It drove me insane. It drove me insane thinking about if everybody.
Yeah, you might want to get the cat.
Yeah, she's eating my chili.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now I just I want people to like me, but I'd much rather just be my goofy old self.
Well, that's the thing is, like, even my guys and my wife, I can say we don't have a whole lot of shame because we really don't care at the end of the day. For example, I always use this to my wife because, at shows, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of people you're meeting, and she is a jealous type woman. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm still going home with you. So at the same sense, like, I might go out and act like an idiot, but I'm her idiot. So I don't care what other people think of me. It kind of goes the same way, At the end of the day, it's just exactly what Matthew said, just be you. Don't care what other people think. It is what it is. I mean, you're going to have people that judge, roll their eyes, do whatever at you, but who cares? That's the whole point of being you, is not to care as much what everybody else thinks.
If I cared about what everybody thought about me, I would have quit a long time ago. I live in Polk County, and everybody judges you here, and it's okay. I love it. Yeah. I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, this song, okay, we're gonna get back on track here. So, this song, it amps me up. It amps me up when I'm like feeling like I can't accomplish something. And I ran across this song. Now, the first song that I had of theirs was called One Life. And he's like, well, you don't have Fearless on there. And I'm like, where's Fearless? So I went searching for Fearless and I found it. And so now, like, when I'm having like one of those like poopy days and I feel like I can't like accomplish like the Easter Bunny beatdown with 8 bands and manage to get it all properly so I don't get judged and made fun of, this is the song I listen to right here. So I want you to listen. This is Sleep Signals with Fearless.
That hill's getting taller. Learned to fly when I was falling. On the way getting
Yeah, I like it. Like he's
You like
like tearing off his freaking face. Like I don't know, it's so cool. Like I think it's cool. I think it's
No,
but
yeah, no, it's a good song. It definitely rides on the title. Very very chorusy, but yeah, no, it's very well done. I mean, if that's what hypes you up, then I mean, they're doing a good job. I mean, I was here, jamming to it myself. I was like,
I mean, I can't play
good
In This
lyrical
Moment
message,
on here. I mean, In This Moment is really, really my shit. Like, I will scream. Like, listen, when I'm cleaning house, I either do one of two things. I put on my Spotify for y'all's bands, so then that way I could rock out while I'm cleaning the house and you guys get your likes and shares and stuff like that. So I like doing that. Or I'll turn on In This Moment playlist and I'll just scream all the way through the house. So I'm pretty sure my neighbors probably think that I'm dying over here, but it's completely fine. I've always had a dream of like being a screaming front woman, right? But I'm very nervous on stage. So even like speaking.
You do a radio show. You host these interviews, but you're nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, I do, man. I do. I mean, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, man. It's a work in progress. Okay. So this song, I'm going to show you this song. This song, I really love it because like my whole female vibe like comes out in it when I see this sun god. And that is the name of the song. It's called Sun God. And she's hot. Okay. And she's not the singer. She's not in the band, but she's in the music video and she's hot. Athena knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, we played this one earlier. She is hot, like total like warrior goddess, okay? Like, and when I first seen this song, I was like, yo, I was so attracted to the woman that I was like, anyway, all right, hold on. You'll understand. 1 second. Sun God, ready, coming.
Sun God.
okay, I see what you're saying. The music video itself kind of reminded me of like Barnabo Cyrus's music video they did for Angels and Aliens. Like
Yeah.
same kind of, you know, type Egyptian, you know, type metaphor type stuff. I mean, it's great for that. And I did like that they did have the woman doing vocals in it. You know, but more as a synth bass. You don't see that too often, but it was good. It was, you know.
Just like what Athena said, that part where he says, "I am the last breath you will breathe." Like, and then he's like, "I am the sun god." Like, I mean, the lyrics, like, they are. I'm sorry, but any female loves it when a man can be dominating, and that song right there is just like, I mean, it kind of puts forth like, you know, the lady dancing. So I don't know if he's like quite like describing. Is he describing her? Is that what he's doing there? Like,
the way the imagery went in the music video, I'm not speaking for the band at all, but that's kind of what I got. Is she is more or less the sun god. It's just using his voice to deter it, you know.
Yeah, but it was fucking hot, man. I do want to put a for your information out there, because I do see we've got quite a few people on. So just in case for some reason, because we are at an hour and 45, this is the YouTube link. So sometimes Facebook only allows us to stay on for so long. So sometimes it will cut that feed out. So if it does, just don't worry about it. You can go back to the top of the profile and I'll restart it. So it will show up as like a separate video. But just kind of want to let you know, if you're on YouTube, it doesn't cut out at all, because apparently YouTube's the shit and they've got their timing on point. Okay, so
oh, by the way, if we do have people joining us and you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff. You know, I'm very humbled and honored she asked me to be a part of this, just like I was in the interview. You know, I was honored to be a part of that. I hope more of you guys get involved in this and get involved in, you know, coming on Rock Rage Radio and just, you know, giving your input. I mean, fans love to hear it. I mean, I love the criticism more than I do anything, you know.
Dude, I love it when we can comment on the bands, you know, and have the comments there. That is the best, like, for the bands to come back, because we do comment the band's names over there. So when they roll back through and they see your comments on what you thought about the song, it makes it so worth it. It does.
And again, you know, this like the music we're doing tonight is mainly like, I appreciate you putting one of my songs in there.
I'm always normally trying.
But at the same time, like, a lot of these bands I haven't heard of, and like now I've been actually writing all of the bands down so I can check them out later. You know, I want to hear, like, for example, that band right there, you know, Ex Codex. I actually want to hear more from them. They did that with just like the Sun Goddess thing. I want to see what else they've done with their career, with their music, you know.
Here's another one. So let's see, where is it at? Let me just kind of try to find it here. Okay, this is a newer one that I just found, and I had to go through a few strings to get this song, because, you know, we got to go and get the artist okay, and they, you know, come here, Sven, get over here. Anywho, we had to go through a few strings to get this one, but it got approved, and I'm so happy it did. And it's an awesome play. This is Hourglass with Throw the Fight with Hourglass. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
if not,
they're pretty hot.
My temper's like a time bomb, tick explode, watch the fires burn like ashes, falling free from the sky. Have we been here before? My memories the sky shines on me. Close my eyes, take a breath, let it fade away. Till the sun goes down, the sky shines on me. Close my eyes, turning dead, won't take me today. Till the sun goes down, the sky shines on me. Watch the sun pass through the hourglass. Nothing can stop me now. Watch the sun pass through the hourglass. Nothing can stop me now. Hearts broken since the day you left. Have we been here before? There's nothing left.
Fight. Lift. I love it. I love it. Dang.
So the fight, very, very, very metalcore.
Yeah.
I could say that. That would have been definitely would have been. I would have probably listened to growing up, like getting into the metal scene, stuff like that. Like I said, it sounded good. I would actually love to see what they could do live though. Like that's probably the biggest thing for a lot of musicians and a lot of people who do listen in. You know, I've been to plenty of shows where it's like, oh, this, you know, their Spotify or their YouTube sounds amazing. You know, the value, the production, and then I go see them live, and I was like,
Okay, so here is a band that is great live. What do you think about a tribute band?
I'm not very fond of tribute bands, and it's
Now,
kind of a catch-22 there. So
well, okay. Go ahead.
I'm happy that they're doing it. They've learned the songs and they've learned this and that. You know, it does take a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of effort in that kind of musicianship.
Right.
But at the same time, like I'm an original artist. When I go and I play the music I've put my heart and soul into, you know, everybody starts out from the bottom up. Nobody jumps on a tour run. Nobody jumps and does their first show and it's sold out because of you and you've never been heard of before. You know, so for me as an original artist, you know, I've played dead shows, I've played large shows, I've played big venues, I've played small venues. And then at the same time, like I put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of, you know, soul into what I do, and then I see this tribute band come to town. It's like they got a sold out show, and it's like you didn't really, not very motivational for me at all. It's like,
Okay.
you know, you somebody else's music, and it's like, okay, you can perform it well. That's great. I mean, I have a Matt Heafy signature guitar there. You know, I'm not going to start a Matt Heafy tribute band as an artist. It's just.
I mean,
so,
if you like it, you like it. But
yeah.
so
There are
the
plenty
main
of people that want to go do that, but at the same time, like there are artists that do a very good job making it their own.
You're right. So
But when
have you
you
heard-
go as a cover band
have you
and you
heard?
sound exactly like the album that I listen to, like Metallica tribute bands, like I've seen some that sound at the live performances just like they do on their album, and I'm like, well, that's a great mimic. But I'd probably rather listen to the real thing. It's just
So
it's a catch-22
right,
thing.
but you can't always catch them. So it's like a catch-22. Right. So like if you've got a great tribute, you know, then it could pass. Anywho, so these guys, have you ever heard of Wicked Serenity?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I've seen their flyers around.
Wicked
I have.
Serenity is a Godsmack tribute band. Okay.
Yes.
But they all felt the same, that they wanted to write something of their own. So a few of the bandmates came together and decided to do, now I say a few because it's not all of them. So a few came together and started this band, and it's called Transcend. So this is their original project. It is Transcend with Better. So I'm going to play this for you and tell me what you think.
chance to see. They only cloud the surface. No, we never get what we need. Your sense of peace, the God that failed us. Lie to me. I built this house of truth you won't believe. Cry, 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 but I know you're weak. Your words impress a few, my young trendsetter. Well, I know better. I know better. No better.
All right. So, in all honesty, I would much rather go see that than a tribute.
Yes. But.
Even if it's still like similar genre, like it still has that Godsmack type feel, but them making it their own and doing something original. Like I would much, as a performer and somebody who does go out to shows, I would much rather see that than just a band getting up there playing somebody else's material.
I just think it's awesome that a tribute band came together, put some original stuff together, and is even, you know what I mean? I like it because, you know, it kind of gives them a like, hey, put your foot in your mouth. I did my own original stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of, it's nice. I like it. You know, and the song is just
get for this, but it is what it is.
It's all right.
These are my opinions. This is just, you know, I'm one guy. I'm not bashing anybody. Everybody's got their personal preference. That just happens to be mine. But I mean, so far as the music, I mean, they did a damn good job. I mean, like I said, I would actually go and pay to see them perform for sure. Just from, you know, the vibe and energy, like that was the type of stuff I listened to growing up, getting into the metal scene. Godsmack was definitely there for me. And just hearing a band's like in a sense similar, but with a different kind of spin to it. Like it's good energy there. Like if I were to be in those kind of moods to where like I want to jam like the old school stuff I used to listen to from high school, you know, if this track played, I would think I was still there. And that's a good thing for me because it's like, you know, that sound, that presence in the music is there. Yeah. You know, for some of my favorite artists, you know.
Absolutely. I think they did a badass job. I mean, even as a tribute, you know, I seen them out at Bike Week. It was in Daytona, that big old bike. So we went out there, and there was quite a few of tribute bands out there. Hardwired was out there, quite a few of them actually.
I think I seen the flyer for that show. Yeah, at Harley Davidson, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was literally pouring down rain, and me and a buddy of mine, the Dave, he's the CEO of Soul Shining Vents, right? And he when I'm with him, I feel like straight VIP, right? Like, because he gets to go backstage and do all this fun, cool stuff, and nobody really knows Osment out there, but you know what I mean. So like, we're running in the rain, and I've got like this thing over my head, and I'm freaking, we're zooming through the rain, and we go see like a couple bands. We go backstage, hang out, and we're on our way out the door, and we're running in the rain to the truck, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. and that was because Wicked Serenity was on stage, man. And like, I stopped like mid like jump over a puddle to hurt myself, ended up getting soaking ass wet. And then I just walked right up to the front of the stage, man, and their presence, it was phenomenal. It was very, very addicting, the way they carried themselves on stage. And it was great. It was a great, and so when I messaged them, I took a picture of like their little banner that was out there. And so when I messaged Brad, I was like, yo, that's the guitarist where you heard that badass guitar solo in that song. Like, I think that's freaking, that guitar solo right there is just, it's amazing. I love guitar solos, by the way. Love them. I love it when you can hear a bass in a band. I love it when a bass gets some attention. In stage performance, everybody rocking out together. Energy coming.
That's got to be the big one. And I can say this: if there are bands or band affiliates in this that are watching this, I don't care how good you sound on your Spotify. I don't care how good you sound on YouTube and how good your music videos are. When people go to see a show, they're there to see a show. They're not there just to watch you stand in one spot, stand still, and just.
I can't stand it when one person's not into it and like three other people are, and then like there's that one. Like, okay, my most energetic person to love to watch live, love it. Like, his energy, knee slap that I've got. One can do it through a video, and one can do it on. I've never seen him live, but even in his videos, his whole, like, it shows like live footage of him playing, and that's Del Rio over in the UK. He is fabulous. Like, his energy on stage, he just like pops it and stuff. It's freaking. I mean, you think you're there in those words with him. That, and then Ty from Smile Empty Soul, the drummer of Smile Empty Soul.
Oh yeah, we were just there. That's where me and you met.
Yes, dude. Watching him live is like, and he twirls his sticks in his hands, and he's like, oh, fucking like, and it's like, I just like want to just boop. I just want to boop him. I just want to touch him. It's like, you're a little squishy. It's so cute. It's like like the energy is just so amazing. Like, watching him get lost in it. You know what I mean? And that's what I thrive to see, is people being so in love with what they're doing that they lose their self.
Some of it is mind blowing. Like, I'll never forget, like, when I first joined Catcher in the Rye. We did a show out in Georgia at Prosper Fest. Right. And this was my first show with the group. And I mean, we have some of it on video, this and that, but our drummer, Dante, is, he's like the ringleader of the group. He pulls us all together all the time, this and that. And, my first performance with them was there. And, I'm doing my headbanging thing. I'm working on my parts and stuff like that. And whenever I see the drummer just start standing up behind his set and come to the other side of his set and still play, still keep time, still do all this crazy stuff, I'm like, I'm playing with professional musicians here. Like, this is great. I got a drummer who's standing up, still playing the drum set, not sitting down, just, being a drummer like I've seen a lot of acts do, where they just, they keep time, they just stay back there, and that's all they do. Dante's behind the kit, just laying over his kit. I could see him over the cymbals. I could see him over. I'm like, how are you still keeping time? But he manages it. He makes it work. And it's a phenomenal performance, from a drummer, Borny, our vocalist, does a great job. I try to do the best I can, with the hair flipping and the beard and everything. But, at the same time we do. We try to put on a show, and it's a lot of fun to do that. It's fun getting other people involved too, like pulling people from crowds and having them join you on stage and stuff like that. A lot of people are scared to do that, and it's like you'll be surprised at how many people open up when you put them on stage. That's the funny part.
That is very true. That is, and if they open up and get any kind of attention while they're opening up, then it like turns into like, it's like one of those moments like, okay, you don't have children, but when you have kids and you like give them a sucker, like when they realize they can eat the sucker, and it's just like a whole like look, you know what I mean? Like the whole energy look just changes, like just like all brights up, right? And I love it. Speaking of amazing drummers, though, like, okay, so this one came across me, and I love it. I love it, and you'll understand. I'm just going to say drummer, and you all will understand. This is Perceived and Darkening. So let me know what you think in the comments.
How do I hope to find my reason to stand, knowing there's not enough time? The lines in the sand, I'm falling apart, I'm losing my way. I can't end this misery. Forced in the dark, I'm hiding away, trapped in the pouring rain.
Okay, so let me get this right. The vocalist is the drummer. So the dude has got an amazing voice and still keeping time. And I can give him this so far as a drummer, him accenting the guitar solo with fills and just the composition alone and the music, the musicianship is phenomenal. I mean, for him to be doing the vocals, to put that kind of, you could definitely tell with that kind of feel, like he loves what he does as both a vocalist and a drummer.
Yes, dude. When I first seen this guy, I was like, this is freaking wild. This is wild. Like the tone, and not alone, but he shares stage, just like you, excuse me, just like you said.
Yeah. Like he's behind the set. He's back. He's in a sense, he's backstage in most degrees. And he's still, even in the video, like they did portray that, like he is still a frontman. And that's what really makes that work, is he still gave that same vibe as being a frontman while he's behind a kid.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So that was let me get out of this real quick. That was Perceived with Darkening. So definitely go look them up, give them a like and a share, and send them some horns. Let's see. What can I do for you now? I want to try to do something new. Okay. Here's one. This one's Gravity. Here's one. Got it.
Levitate from this world as I separate. Yeah, I'm really out there, cause you're really out there. Hey. I know I won't stop to hesitate, cause I'm feeling so empty. It's like gravity. The way that you move with me. The way that you look at me. Baby, we was on the right track. Baby, just bring me right back. The way you look at me. It's like gravity. It's like gravity. I continue to anticipate, but our love was never really vague. Yeah, I'm really out there, cause you're really out there. Hey. When I come down from the ceilings, it's like I'm done with all my demons. It's like gravity. It's like gravity. The way that you move with me. The way that you look at me. Baby, we was on the right track. Baby,
we have a special guest with us. Meet Yogi.
Special Star, how are you, puppy dog? So,
He's
what
been
are
at
your
the door
thoughts?
the last 2 hours. So it's funny because as I opened the door to let him in, because he's been whining at the door for a little bit. A lot of these bands that we've been listening to tonight, I can honest to God say that this is the kind of music my wife wishes I would play as opposed to what I do. Her words, not mine. But
Perceived just dropped in the building. You're absolutely welcome, dude. That's the drummer. You're freaking hot, man. You're hot. Like everything you do is hot. Like you're so talented, and it's truly an honor. Thank you so much for letting us play your stuff.
I could say the visuals for the music video and everything were on point. Like the asteroids, like all of it was phenomenal. Like whoever did that work for you did a damn good job.
Oh, that's the one with the drummer, not the last one we just watched.
Oh, no, yeah.
With the so the drummer who's the singer.
Okay, no. I see it in the comments and everything else. The singer, drummer, stuff like that. You do a phenomenal job, man. Stage presence behind the kid. I'll say it again. I mean, that you can tell you have fun doing what you do. Like you take a lot of pride in what you do to be able to do what you are doing. Phenomenal voice, your accents, your the composition you do behind the guitars. I mean, it's phenomenal, man.
Absolutely.
Definitely great.
Absolutely. The that in your voice is hot. Your voice is hot.
Those are her words, not mine.
As a female,
it's very good.
As a female, we like that. We like that. That Vikingness. You know what I mean? Just enough. Enough. Just enough. Okay. So the gravity was really good. The graphics in that video are absolutely amazing. The on pointness of it all was phenomenal. They are streaming really heavily on Facebook, so go check them out. They are more in the popular range on Facebook. So freaking thank you so much for letting us play your stuff. I love it. I love that Gravity song. It makes me think of like, I know this is gonna sound so gay, but like true love, the way you move with me. You know, it's like gravity. You know, like you're floating on cloud 9. You know what I mean? Like it's like gravity, right? Yeah. And anyway, I love it. It gives the woman in me a little, you know.
Well, again, I see in the comments, Matthew. Like I said, I actually enjoyed the music, man. Like what you did, like I said, composition-wise, is phenomenal as a drummer and as a front man, as a vocalist behind the set. I mean, that's amazing work you're doing. You know, it's I don't know if I deserve any respect, but I mean, you definitely deserve the recognition for doing what you're doing. You know, with your band for sure, man, because that was phenomenal. That really was, man. I hope to see you guys live for sure.
Hits the feels, huh? It does. It does hit the feels, man.
Like I said, I'm one guy. I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't have any filters on this. Osment's given me rights. If I don't like something, I'll let you know. Hey, this is not my cup of tea. But hey, I mean, if I dig it and I got into it, I know you guys can't see me whenever we go into the music videos. I know Osment can, so she can tell whenever I'm headbanging, I'm getting into the music, and I'm vibing with everything. You know, she sees that. You guys don't, unfortunately.
I do. I've got the whole studio on my side, so we can definitely, I got the buttons. Oh, sorry, that came out of nowhere. Okay, how about this one? This one is Life After Last, one that we used to play quite a bit, and it was their song Dark Horizon. But this is one of their newer ones, and this one is called Into the Gray. Now, this is a regular tone mixed with screaming, and again, it's like I just want to eat it up. So, and it helps that the guys have a lot of muscles and are quite attractive. I mean, as a female, the
I would
female,
start hitting the gym now.
as a female, it is, it's rough. It's great.
I can see it now. Like I started this with you one day, and it's like, okay, guitars for Catcher in the Rye hits the gym. Now Osment Radio, numbers blow up.
Hey man, I gotta hit that gym too, so don't worry about it. I mean, I've got some fluff stuff over on this side too, so it's fine. It's fine. Not all of us are perfect, but these guys right here, they're pretty close to it. They're pretty close. I mean, okay. Life After Last, Into the Gray. Let me know what you think.
All right, so I did read some of the comments during that film. Matthew, if you would, are you in any of the bands that we've done tonight? Maybe you can answer that. No, or are you just tagging along, enjoying the ride like the rest of us?
I think so.
Okay. Well, either way, man. Like, I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate, I hope you're subscribed to the channel. Everything else. Like I said, I appreciate Osment. I appreciate you bringing me on and letting me be a part of this. So, I mean, apologies to the bands if I'm talking to the wrong guy, but I still stand by what I said. Whoever's behind that drum set doing those vocals is phenomenal. I hope he sees this.
He was in there. I think the comments got a little out of hand there for a second. So he was in here.
Okay.
Definitely, Ed. I just got that was your ding, Ed. Okay. So this is the band that saved my ass. Okay. I want to talk about this band for just a minute because they saved my ass. So with the Easter Bunny Beatdown, I have an interview every 26th of the month, right? And this happened to fall right on a Wednesday. So like a lot of bands, you already know, booking a band on a Wednesday is really hard, especially if they have day jobs, especially, the timing of it all. And so
I'm one of those guys.
So yes. So like, okay, I have to have them there by 4. Right. And so it has to be it's like an all day thing. We bring them out, we have a private dinner, we do the in-person interview, the whole process. Then we get them on stage, they do a live, and then we try to do karaoke with the band after. Now, these guys are going to be in the battle too as well. So we were changing it from just a metal battle to a rock battle. So because we're going from Rock Rage Radio, we are going to make it a rock battle. The flyer still says metal, but it's going to be just a rock battle because these guys are going to come out for my interview. Not only are they going to come out for my interview, but they're also going to come out for the 29th too as well. And just as well as I know that, it's all about in community and offering your time with these kind of things. And, they are getting the marketing value of it all. And we try to make it as fair as possible with known productions, BabarazziPhotos, The Meal, and so forth. But I think you've heard of them. This is
Really?
All You Know by Fire Inside.
I have heard.
Fire Inside, and this is All You Know. And I love it because it reminds me of my daddy's rock. Went back in early 90s. So let me know what you think.
Call you a Van Gogh, putting on a show. Rhythm is a dancer. When that's all you know. When that's all you. When that's all you. When that's all you know. When that's all you. When that's all you. When that's all you know. Is it the money keeping you in chains? Or how they love you, calling out your name? Is an addiction you need every night? Needing love and affection, make you feel just right. Need the lights to feel the pain. Make that money take all of the street. Frame of the picture, outlines the yard. Reading my numbers gives you a new start. Gives you a new start. Call you a Van Gogh, putting on a show. Rhythm is a dancer. When that's all you know. When that's all
Okay, so very, very old school rock for sure.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad that music is still around. You know, I'm
I am too.
31.
There's not a whole lot of it.
There's not, you know, but that's really like I understand. Like, I see some of the comments. I guess Ed is on here, like not digging it. It's like Kiss feel in a southern hole. Like, okay, yes, I can see where you're coming with that, but at the same time, like that's the old school rock. Like that's the kind of music. Like I might be 31, but when my dad was alive, like that was the kind of stuff he was playing in his car, you know, on his
In
way
the
to work.
T-Bird. In the
Exactly.
T-Bird. While we were cruising down the road in the T-Bird.
Definitely got those roots behind it. It's good to still see people doing stuff like that. I mean, that's the genre they love. You know, I guess he's older than I am, 46. He says, but
I mean,
again, that's the kind of music that got me started in metal music. It started somewhere. You know, I was listening to Led Zeppelin with my dad in the van, you know, on my way, you know, getting dropped off at my mom's house. And then it's like, hey, Dad, you know, hey, you ever heard of this band? It's like Disturbed, Slipknot, you know, all these other bands that were out then. And it was like, oh, that's not real music. And he'd always go back to
See, my dad was straight like Metallica, Led Zeppelin, Bush, Nirvana, like really. And now in like the early 90s, we used to roll around in his little T-Bird, you know what I mean? Like, so he used to rock it out. But then my mama used to come home and she was more like going and learning your line dances, you know what I mean? And bringing home Reba McEntire line dances at, you know, odd hours. What I got restricted? Question mark. I didn't restrict you, Matthew. I either block you if there's rude comments, but I ain't blocked nobody since we started this. Normally, I only block you if you ask for my nudes or, you know, outlandish questions, you know.
I don't know if we block you for that, but
William will just politely tell you no. Like, be like, thanks, but no thanks.
I might be
Me,
like,
on the other hand, I don't even read it. I just block it. I can send hearts. I guess can't send hearts. Oh, I don't. Hearts or stars? I'm not really sure. Hi, T. T is my buddy, man. He is my YouTube buddy. He has literally followed me since I first started this YouTube channel, and he lives in Ireland, and I am going to run away and see him one day. Yes, I am. He has a fans only. He has a fans only. Who has a fans only?
In OnlyFans?
And only.
I haven't started one yet, but I do have this idea that I thought would go viral, or it would just be me in like one of these.
Oh, you're not posting pictures of your feet, are you? Oh shit! No, I don't. I don't.
Guy on YouTube, you know, just doing death metal covers in a Speedo. I thought that might be interesting.
She will not stay off my damn chili. I'm telling you. Oh man, T, if you have any kind of accent, I'm gonna marry you one day, buddy. I am. You're such a sweetheart. Feet for guitars. Oh shit balls, that's funny. All right, so we both. What's that?
Go ahead.
We both know this next artist. It is one of my all-time faves, and I love their energy. This is where we met. We met at their concert, like at the Brass Mug, and they just fucking rock stage. I absolutely love Ty's energy in and out of the show. You know, it is freaking amazing. And here's their video for Manifesto. Smile, empty soul, everybody.
Daylight, giving way to twilight. You're standing on my baseline. I'm bleeding on myself. Hang tight, you're stealing all my sunshine. I'm gonna catch a light. ungrateful from the bottom of my soul. Won't you be that little nothing, that little piece of shit I scrape off from the bottom of my soul? Now I'm free, not self-destructing, no longer trapped inside a prison that was tearing my whole world apart. And I can visualize, not paralyzed.
The Soul Manifesto. I love that song.
So yes, good song. I mean, that is actually where me and you met. This and that. I actually went to that show to support Love Pit, which I know you know who Love Pit is. If you do not know who Love Pit is, go check them out. They're phenomenal guys, great people to be around. I mean, down to earth, solid guys. I mean, all the way around. Like, our genres might not be the same, but those guys right there, I consider them good friends. You know, they're vocalists. I mean, Ernie, their guitar player, is my merch guy. He runs his own business, Reaper Merchandise. If you know other bands that are looking to get merch done, he does a phenomenal job. He does all of our stuff for Catcher in the Rye. Very, very prompt on timing. He is a small business owner looking to get, you know, that's what he does, and he's always been there for me. I mean, I've had shows where I've needed, like, for example, right here, my old band, I Beneath the Sky. I had that thing made for behind the drums for one of our shows. He delivered it the night of our show just to make sure I had it for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it was last minute type order, and he made it happen. I mean, he's
Trying to see if I have. I'm trying to get it. Like, it's, where is it at? I knew I had I had their video here. Now I'm not seeing it. I don't know where it went. Let's see if it's down here a little further. I'm going to search for it for a second. You can keep talking.
all right. So I think that thing, you know, I Beneath the Sky is cool, this and that. Like, that is a band that we had started when I moved to Florida. And it was a bunch of us from high school. Unfortunately, like, we just, you know, we were all good high school buddies and stuff like that. Just, we all come from way different backgrounds, way different musical influences, and it didn't work out in the long run. Still love all those guys to death. I still talk to majority of them. I know the bass player, Kyle, he's working on, you know, doing his thing at the hospital, so he's been busy. You know, the other guitar player, the one that does a lot of the soloing and the music, I mean, I think he's still here in Florida, but he went and pursued MMA fighting and stuff like that. He's a big guy. I mean, he's doing a great job at that. And then the drummer from that band is now in a band called Sacrilus, a black metal band. Great music. They got a big show coming out here in Tampa with Promethean Horde, Druid Lord, a bunch of big Tampa black metal bands out here. And I mean, he's doing his thing. I mean, we all went our separate ways, but at the end of the day, like, I still go out and I support them. They come out to my shows, support me. It's still, you know, there's no tension, there's no nothing. Just, we all wanted to do different music, you know. So it wasn't right. So just we moved on. That was pretty much it. But I kept the banner. I still have CDs. I still have merch. I still have other stuff that I can't part with it. You know, that was like my project. That was my very first project as a musician. It's like, I can't get rid of that stuff. It's memorabilia for me, you know. I don't care if anybody liked the band or not. I was like, yeah, I had fun.
Well, I did get our boys up here, so we're going to share some love to our Love Pit boys, because they always share some love with us. Love Pit is also a #1 sponsor of Osment. They help in donating stuff for our artist interviews. They also help Osment and Osment's family, personally, business-wise, all that above. They are just a great group of guys, and their energy is more so amazing. And we should all strive to be like the Love Pit Boys. So we're going to share some love here with Because She's Mine.
I saw her standing there under the lovely moonlight light. I knew she would be the one. I knew she'd be my bride. Because she's my guide. And I am both north east, they could never stop my sexual melody. I come from my father, never be that far from you, my love, so truly real. Burning every inch of you, but before you quit, you'll realize I'm blue. That you are my eyes. And I am your world. Your love was a trial, they will always singing, they will talk about the keeping your favor is the task alone. I feel working at night to keep the demons far from you, and I just sleep so sound, sweet dreams I pray you for me. Through your soul, you're saving me. Wow, for laying everything to me. We come to love you, and the next is good. Because she's my guide. And I am her. I saw her standing there under the lovely moonlight light. I knew she would be the one. I knew she'd be my bride. I took her by her hand. I led her far from her treacheries. She knew I was the one. She saw her champion. Because she's my eyes. And I am her. This is our church. We're to love her. This is our church. We're to love her.
Hit with Because She's Mine.
Again, I love those dudes to death. Like I said, I've been doing shows with them when I was in I Beneath the Sky. That's how me and all those guys actually met. And I mean, the genres might be different, all in all, but I mean, they're a great group of guys just to be around. Like if you need somebody to come and make a scene or open up a show or just like get the party flowing, Those are great guys to have by your side, no matter what. Even if they're there just supporting you. I know the vocalist himself. I know the bartenders love him because every time he's on stage, he's tip your bartenders. Let's do this. Let's have some shots. Let's get some rounds. Let's party. I mean,
He is all about shouting people out. He,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
he knows where his help is. He knows who his friends are. He knows, you know, where to promote and where not to. And, you know, at the event that they were at, you know, he was the only one that recognized me on stage. You know, Bear within us, you know, came up to me and was like, "Hey, Osment, I know you, but you don't know me." And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do right now.
That's one of those like creepier moments, you know, being in like what you're doing, where it's like, hey, you don't know me, but I know you. You know, it's just that mysterious, like, okay, this is weird. Like that's a weird way to introduce yourself, but you know, in our scene, that's pretty normal.
Listen, when I first started this, I got my first stalker, and that was like, this is when I first started at Leo's. I started posting events for Leo and doing like things for him that anytime he needs me to host an event or something like that, I try to come out and do whatever I can for him to help him out along with the promotional aspect of everything. So first coming out and doing that, you know, I had a gentleman and he followed me from event to event, and he made sure that he was there right at open time, like, and every time. And, you know, it was cute and it was great and everything. And until he tried to follow me home, and then it wasn't so cute, wasn't so great. Then
Oh yeah.
you know, so that's why we decided to have security, is because, well, one, that type of stuff happens, and then also the very ugly messages about the hard metal plays. So, you know, there's been, I mean, it's the first death threats I've ever received was, you know, playing hardcore metal. I was like, damn, get antsy much? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hot that I pressed your button that way, you know?
Yeah. No, and every band gets it, like criticism, stuff like that. I mean, for every one fan you get, you might have 3 other people that are like, you know what, you should give up, or you suck, or you know, you get all sorts of criticism all over the place from, you know, people you don't know, people maybe even you do know. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, what do you want to do? And like me, myself, like I understand like what I have behind me is a lot. Like, you know, I have guitars galore behind me. And this is only a part of my collection. The rest of it's on the other side of this room that you cannot see. And there was a time in my life where I pretty much gave up as a musician. Like I focused on work, I focused on like my marital situation. You know, I wasn't in any right mind. I was really depressed at the time. Music it was always there for me, but I didn't pursue being a musician itself. And then out of nowhere, me and my wife were listening to some of the songs I used to write back in North Carolina. Before she met me, and she was like, well, why don't you play guitar anymore? And I said, well, I kind of lost interest. I don't have anybody to jam with, you know. She's, you know, she supported me through and through. She was more or less like, okay. I mean, it was the same day she drove me to a pawn shop. We bought a 6-string guitar. It was an LTD. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy. And she was like, okay, well, what else do you need? We got myself an amp. We got a guitar. She's like, all right, now start writing again. Like start performing again, meet people, go to some shows, go do this, go do that. And that's pretty much how I got back into it. And it was like riding a bike, don't get me wrong, because I loved what I did. And then since that moment, I haven't stopped. I mean, even with band breakups, hardships, you know, falling outs, not doing what I'm doing now. I mean, it's not been an easy road, but I'm glad I'm where I'm at because of the people I've met during my adventure, so to speak.
Yeah.
So,
You know, and it's really awesome that you have, you know, a wife like that, you know, a teammate like that looks out for your emotional side of things. You know what I mean? It's very important to have, you know, a partner that can see
oh
that.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm just a psycho. So
I I haven't seen that side of you. Every time we're together and everybody else is around, like you're a hoot. You're a fun time. You know, you're great to be around. Your energy's great. Like I've never had any issues with you. My wife's never had any issues with you. It's just like all around you're respectable. You do your own thing. You love what you do. And I mean, my hat's off to you. You know, just for keeping it going, because I know how hard that is. It is. It's very rough. It's not easy to do, especially with you being a single mom, 3 kids, and still doing everything you're doing. Like I work, 10, 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and I still do the promotions. I still do the band. I still make time for music. I'm here tonight. We've been live for 3 hours now. I got to get up at 4 a.m. It's all part of the grind. It's all part of the sacrifice and doing what we love. Because this has been, like I said, I thank you again for having me out and just letting me be a part of it.
I mean, we've gotten at least 17 people that have reacted. I mean, we still have 3 people left in the chat after our 3-hour endeavor. And I think it's awesome. I love getting on here and playing this music. I love sharing these people, and like I said before, the only reason why I love what I do is because I want to make everybody else accomplish their dreams. It's nice to when Love Pit recognized me on stage, and that recognition, it means a lot, and when you get that after you've worked so hard for something. And I've worked for this channel, I've worked for my interviews, and I've worked through it, and I've had a lot of negativity come in, from naysayers and people that really didn't really understand what I was trying to do. How can you just do this and be at home, and you need to get a regular 9 to 5. But this is what I love to do, and I love to be on here and play everything and find new bands and find new talent that I can play more of. And one day I'll be able to make everybody a rock star, and I'm not going to stop until I can. So
well, that'll be the thing is the day that you end up being on what is it like something similar to like the John Lennon show back in the day, where you have a whole stadium to yourself doing this interview. Like right now it's at our houses, it's online, it's on YouTube. You get into that level and stuff like that, you got to remember who the small guys are. Not just me, but everybody who's in this chat is special guests and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And that's the thing. That's the really big part of it all is and that's why I started things the way that I did. And why the businesses that I have with me are still with me. Gnome Productions, he's been with me since my single mom's event. He came out and recorded the whole thing for me, and we've just been like this ever since. And now it's like it's a relationship, and he is a great guy. He is a phenomenal guy. He comes out repeatedly, and he helps me build what I believe in, and he believes in it too. So it's nice to have other people, join you. But the way I work things is, if you're doing something for me, I just keep you. Other people that run their radio station or their show, or however they do it, the credits in the beginning, like we played, you've seen when it welcomes you in, Osment is brought to you by, all those people in those ads are people that have worked with me, stuck by me, helped me, and commit to coming out on the 26th, every 26th of the month. And they offer help, and, BabarazziPhotos, Gunshot Photography, Gnome Productions, That Special Sound, Leo's Live. We went in around Winter Haven, around Lakeland neighbors, we would not be where we are without all these people that have come in and helped, Will and Danielle Kimbrell. I mean, everybody from that aspect has helped tremendously. And it's really nice to see these guys come together and help me put on a show, so then that way you can have those artists be like, you know what I mean? And even if not a whole, my goal is to get more people there. That is my main goal. And that is not only for, the artist, to make them, and I want them to feel um, beyond loved. And I know having people there interacting in your interview, that is something you can't replace, and it's very personal, and it's very, I didn't want it to be something that was by the book, like TTTT kind of stuff. I
It's
wanted
like,
it
oh,
to be,
hey, I need this. Okay, you provided that. Okay, thank you, and
yeah,
then never hear from me again. You know.
yeah, like, no, I wanted the bands to be able to 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 thrive off of what we gave them. And, some bands are very grateful. Some bands are not so much.
Yeah.
And you do run across your rude people, and you run across, I mean, there's been times where I've, thrown an interview and I felt like a very small person because my perfectness was not their perfectness, and it kind of really hurt my feelings. But then again, I can only do so much, and I get up and keep doing it. And you know I have a goal, and the goal is to make this a lot easier for people that are genuinely, one, good, and two, good people. And we artists, they have such a hard time,
Yeah, that we do.
and they get treated so roughly sometimes. So the goal is to, not be that big dick energy that everybody else wants to be, except for, hey, I get on here 3 times a day, and I play at least at every artist at least twice or 3 times. And so you guys, some people may not think like that's a lot, but this is 3 hours in, and it's mainly because we've talked a lot too as well. But it normally takes me about 2 hours to roll through all my songs.
Yeah.
And come on and at least try to say a little bit of something, throw, a little one liner, and try to go from there. And, some of them, greatly appreciate it. And then again, some of them don't. So, my weeding out process is mainly, sticking with the people that support and love me and agree with what I'm doing. And I moved my chili. You don't think that's too funny? You can see her; she's looking for it. I had to move my whole bowl in the kitchen, put it in the microwave because she kept coming up and eating it.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding people that love what you're doing, and support you. And it's very important to get every aspect of what people feel, and but knowing that that's still your dream to continue doing what you're doing because it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
you happy. I mean, I don't want to be 80 and be like, oh man, I listened to Will, so I didn't do like that shit that I wanted to do. So like, I just didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that. Like I said, to be honest, I mean, like I said, me and you, we met at a local show at the Brass Mug. We just started talking, just started hanging out, and then after that, it was, I understood who you were, what you were doing. I've come out, I've supported, I've done this and that. Like I appreciate you playing our music on your station, stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, there hasn't been any obligation. There hasn't been anything. I mean, it's been a smooth ride. I mean, even like I could say this, like with Love Pit, with Ernie, the guy that does my merch, it started as a business thing, and then it grew to be so much more. I met a good person. I met somebody who wants to do what he loves doing, and that's what really made the connection between me and him, and like me and you,
Right.
for example. you've got a dream, I've got a dream. You know what? Let's work together to fulfill those dreams. It's not tit for tat. It's more
Oh
or
no,
less just, you invite me to do this. I have some time. Okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to
my
commit to it. I'm
goal,
not going to blow smoke.
my goal is to get a property that is at least, okay, I've got a big dream. Okay. I say 300 acres, but it doesn't have to be 300 acres, but I say 300 because that's just my ultimate dream. But I've got a dream of getting, there's one in Polk City right now, and it's $2.5 million. Okay. And if I had $2.5 million, that buddy would be mine because it has room for an outdoor venue, it has room for an indoor venue, and then it has room for me and my kids. So then that way I could have shows, people that have so much trouble finding venues, you know what I'm saying? I would love to do that. I would love to put on my own shows, my own fests, and have, not only that avenue for them to come and do that, but then also have like my own studio and, have people that help and on those 300 acres have little cabins for all like my little buddies, be like, hey, you can come live on my property if you grow me tomatoes and do my videos for me.
Yeah.
It's a trade, hey, you want to grow some potatoes, some tomatoes, you want to raise some chickens for me, and then, having one of them big old houses and all eating dinner together. Yeah. Community, man. It's it's not just mom and pops at home. It takes a village, and the more that people understand that, the more that you'll be better off. I don't know what people were thinking. That sounds awesome to me.
And that's probably the biggest problem I could say, like with the scene in Tampa, coming from somebody who's played here for quite a while now, a couple of years, 5-6 years now. I know who they are. I know I've listened in the background. I've been in the scene for years and years and years, and I've always been that guy in the back of the venue just watching, listening, doing this and that. And I know what bands are talking smack about what other bands and who actually is there to perform and enjoys the company of their fans, and who just wants to do a show and just say, okay, well, I made some money. I'll see you later. There's plenty of people out there like that, which sucks, but it is what it is. Not everybody's the same. Everybody, like when me and you first got together and me and you first started, talking and doing stuff and everything else, it was more or less just like an agreement thing. Like, hey, you have this going on. Let me help. I'm interested. I'm curious. Okay, well, I've seen what you did. We did this. I'll give you my input. Whether you take it or not is up to you, but I'm still a part of what you're doing. And I hope to continue to be a part of what you're doing. Like, you haven't interviewed Catcher in the Rye yet. You will eventually.
I will. It's happening.
But,
I'm saving that for a Halloween time, man. I'm gonna play that creepy music and everything.
Oh yeah. And again, like I've invited you out and stuff like that. Any of the shows that I book for Obsidian, I do have. I'm still waiting on 100% confirmation, but I do have Homicide and Azera coming from North Carolina. They're big deathcore bands coming from here and going to be playing Tampa, Melbourne, and Lakeland. Going to be a great time. Going to be fun. You're more than welcome to come and, video any of that stuff, be a part of all that stuff with me, this and that. I'll help you any which way I can in Lakeland as much as I can. I would love to be there for your bunny bash, but you know that I'm on tour, so
my cute little bunny thing.
Timing there.
Did you see my cute little bunny thing? It's so
I did see the flyer for it and everything else, the bunny and the straight jacket and everything else.
No. This so I did the Can you see?
Oh no, yeah.
Oh man. And yes, Athena, you are absolutely right. It is amazing when people just show you love when you go to a show. Recognition is such an amazing thing. And I absolutely, I am shy too when it comes to like going into a new venue for the first time or going into a band for the first time. I can see the most badass band and let them be mean, rude, diva. I'm out. Yes, I've had some of those. And um, I mentioned I was a stripper for 15 years. So I instantly go like, it's like a flip of a switch. It's like, you gonna be cocky, then I'll be cocky. So it's like a cock flip. Cock
See,
flip.
for me, I'm completely opposite. I'm like, all right, you want to be an ass? I'll go somewhere else. Like I'm not, I don't have time to deal with the drama. I don't have time to deal with the BS. You know, and surprisingly, like a lot of the stuff I've been doing, I've met a lot of good people and a lot of good bands that are just more that they just love what they do and they want to continue to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part as a musician is to network. You
Yeah.
know, I could play Tampa shows all day long. I could play Crowbar, I could play Orpheum, I could play Brass Mug, Pegasus, um, Born Free Pub, I could play Lakeland, I could play all these local venues, this and that, but that only gets my reach so far. And it's whenever I meet these other bands that are actually pretty cool guys, from like I met Detest the Throne in Georgia at one of the shows we did in Georgia. And then since then, I mean, it's almost been 6 months, 8 months now since we did a show with them. That was the first time meeting them. We talk on a weekly basis. It's
Oh
like, hey
man.
man, how was that show? Hey, how what are you guys doing recording wise? Hey, how's life? It's meeting those kind of people that actually really mean a lot to me because it's not just about, oh, what can you do for me? It's more or less like, they generally give a crap about the scene. They generally care about the people who are trying to make things work in the area. And
Yeah.
they want to be a part of it. And they want to bring that same energy, that same love where they're at. That's my biggest thing too, is like I played Tampa for years and a lot of the bands just there might be one or two a-holes, but 90% of them are great guys. Like they're willing to do anything. Like I've done last minute shows where it's like, hey, I had a band drop. I need an opening band. It's like, all right, well,
Hmm.
we'll be there. Like
Listen,
we got your
and
back. We had our back for years.
Athena,
It's all about that.
yeah, Athena said it. They look like they look big and scary, but they're just teddy bears. Um, Very, very true. I think we said earlier that I thought they were gummy bears and a unicorn floaty. So that, yeah, medalists are. I have to say this. Um, I've been to all kinds of different shows. I've hung out with all different kinds of genres of shows and people, and I've never felt so loved and supported at a metal concert. Like, and I was shocked. I mean, because I've never been, so it was something that was like a moment, because I'm a little shy giddy until I learn where my footing is, and then once I know the people, then I'm like, it's hard to control. Then I'm just like bouncing. It's like squirrel bouncing all over. So, but once I'm comfortable, then I'm comfortable. Like then I'm all over the place.
Yeah, but that's one of those things. Is like the metal community gets such a bad rap for a lot of the stuff we do, and a lot of it is just it's always just a few people who ruin it for everybody, which I understand. It kind of stereotypes us, this and that. But I mean, I was comfortable enough to bring my little sister to actually where I got the shirt at a Cannibal Corpse at Janice in Clearwater. And I
Right.
had a buddy of mine. I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to get us merch. I'm trying to do this and that. And he was like, all right. When my little sister, she had to have been like 17, 16 at the time, was like, I've never been in a mosh pit. And my buddy was like, all right, let's go. Drug her into the mosh pit. Everybody, knocking each other around. But there's a code to that. And it's like people don't understand that. And then whenever she came out, and she come back to me while I was still standing in line because the lines were ridiculous. It was like that was the most fun she had ever had at a concert. was being a part of that. She'd never been in a mosh pit before. She didn't understand what it was, anything like that. I mean, it blew her mind at how everything was run and how people, like if somebody fell, how they picked them up. If somebody got hurt or anything like that, how much people would spread out and make a scene to make sure that they would get out safely. Like,
yeah,
everything you see on YouTube and everything else, like it is for the hype of it. When you see these big walls of death just colliding together, yes, there is some damage done. They understand what they're getting involved in when they do that. But at the same time, when people get hurt, they usually help each other out. And that's what it's about. It's like, we're not there trying to kill each other. We're there to have a good time. That's why we went to the show, is to have fun, not to get murdered that day.
Athena said she took her 10-year-old to her first show, Rotting World. She was moshing and headbanging. I can't mosh, but my little one was rocking out. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
That's the kind of stuff that people love to see, especially musicians, even in like big name bands, stuff like that. Like, what was it? We were, I think it was one of the other Brass Mug shows that I went to. I don't remember what bands were playing, but it was a hardcore show, this and that. And there was a lot of like spin kicking, a lot of like crowd killing type stuff. And there were children there. They were younger, it was an all ages show. And the band ended up bringing the children on stage with them just so they would be out of harm's way and let them do their own little dancing and own little moshing on stage while they performed. And I was like, that is amazing. Like that is so humble of this band to do. I was like, that's just the scene. Those are good people at that point. Like those are the kind of people I want to do business with, what I want to do like more shows with, stuff like that. Like their music was great, but just that in itself just meant so much to me, even being in the background. And I don't have kids, but to see that, I was like, these are my kind of guys. Like they understand what's going on.
That is a great idea too, as well. And that's love, though. You know what I mean? And it shows it, and that's really cool. We are going to have to finish our music play. I think I've got, okay. Did we play 7 yet? No.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 more. 3 more. I'm going to do 3 more. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to play Defiant, Ignite the Sky first, and then we'll go into Disaster by the 45, and then roll into 7 with Cold. So we'll start off with Defiant, and then we should be done after that. And then you can take your butt to bed so you can get up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, we're going to roll into, this is Defiant with Ignite the Sky.
If the mass is now suddenly increased so that more neutrons are trapped each time an atomic nucleus is split, a multiplying chain reaction is maintained. Now the mass is supercritical, causing a nuclear explosion.
Across the land
Ignite the Sky by Defiant.
Very interesting. I could say that. Very interesting.
I like it. Blow me away. No?
It does have that follow-up jam type stuff to it. Like it does have a very flow. It is very driving, for sure.
It's very addicting. I found myself singing it like 3 times the other day. Anyway, yes. And, you know, that guitar solo is just, it's kind of hot. I'm a sucker for guitar solos, man. I am.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like this is the second video where I've seen that same style of white Les Paul type thing, which I have one back there. You know, I'm like, it's so hard for me not to pick up during these things.
All right. This one is the 45, and the song's called Disaster. Now, this band is amazing. I love the way they put the video together, and he's not a screamer, but he does have a very good tone to him, and it is, I love it. I love it, and I love the video too. So it has like a theme to it, and so that kind of makes it cool, right? I like themed videos. It makes it like, I don't know. So apparently they did their videos in backwards style. So like the last one's supposed to be the first one, and anyway, this is Disaster by the 45.
Come on! I have no idea what's wrong.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
So we here? Just fucking died. Just died.
Well, let's check it out.
That's not good.
I could call a ride. No, I can't. My phone's not working. What about yours?
No, mine's dead too.
I got nothing. Maybe she's got a phone.
Of course she has a phone. Everybody has a phone. Let's go talk to her.
A tragedy awaits, but don't you know that familiar souls have walked this path before? You give us both away. Don't tell me you're not afraid to turn me around. You turn me around again. dark becomes a day. Drown our hearts in ecstasy as we lay down. Hand in hand we tumble all the way.
Well, the dude can sure hold a note. I can give him that.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like forever in a day. Like, I like it. I like it. Disaster by the 45. They've got some other cool songs too on YouTube, so go check them out. Give them a like, a share, comment. All right, last one. This one, I really like this one. And the reason why I like this one is because the ending message on it. And so like this one touches my heart real deep. I was in an abusive relationship for a very, very long time, and it is very uncomfortable not feeling safe in your own skin. So this one is Cold by ᵴः, and it has a really good message at the end. Nobody deserves to be in a domestic violence relationship. And there is a 1-800 number at the end. So if you are in a domestic violence relationship, please pay attention. Dial the number if you need help. So ᵴः with Cold.
Inside of the shadows of my mind, a cynical pit that I long buried away, ripping, scratching, tearing through my alibi, my attempt in my end. I live there, try to justify all the pain that you see in my eyes. I've lost sight, I'm feeling Passion shadows of my mind. I see like a bird ripping, scratching, tearing through my alibi. But it's unfair. I'm feeling cold, I'm immune to the burn. The things that I've been through leave me bruised and hurt. It's a small scar that I made, no such the one that I hate. A kiss to death, the rules fast and silhouette. I'm just out in the shadows of my mind. I feel like a bird immune to the burn. Ripping, scratching, tearing through my
Very nice. Actually, very good message. Very well performed. It definitely had a flow. Like all in all, that was a very well written song. I could say
I
that.
like the video. I think that the video was very well put together. You know what I mean? That,
Yes.
like, and all in all, the video was definitely well put together, and it is a good song. A friend of mine told me it needed a trigger warning.
I'd probably disagree with the trigger warning. I thought what they did with the video and everything else was kind of stood on its own about what was going on. You know, and in a sense, what it could actually be like, because it is terrifying being in those kind of situations, and you can see that what they did in that they tried to they really put forth the effort to try to mimic that in a visual way, because that kind of mental stress and that kind of mental instability is very hard to capture. You know, everybody goes through different things. Everybody has different fears, and you know, trying to put a spin on something like that to where it tries to capture the biggest audience in that. I mean, that's very hard to do. But overall, the message in the lyrics and the video, it stood out to what was going on and what the message was about. So
That and alone, I think they picked the right spot in the song too. You know, like that, you know what part I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, guys, we are going to wrap it up for the night. We have been on for 3.5 hours, and we have gone through so much music. We do want to thank the bands that we've promoted today. I am going to go back to the comments. Of course, 7 the 45, Defiant. Let's see, who else did we have on here? We had Love Pit and Smile Empty Soul. Who else did we play? We played quite a bit of them. I'm trying to go through the comments so I can kind of read off the ones that we played. Let's see. Live After Last.
yeah, and then we had the actual band and not the cover band. We had I'm gonna butcher it. 10.
Trenton.
Yes.
Trenton was better.
That's a tongue twister for me, so that wasn't gonna work for me. You know, we had Fire Inside.
Yes.
You know, and then we had 2 from the very beginning of this. Poet Bones, Straight for the Sun.
Yep. Perceived, MCH, and NZ. Those were two other ones that the 2 of the newer ones that we had played, along with the, what was that, the EX, the Exodus.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Excodic?
That's the way I'm pronouncing it.
Okay.
Excodic.
I just don't want to butcher it. Sleep Signals was on here too as well. Much respect for that Fearless song. I absolutely love that one.
Sun's on Fire.
Oh yeah, man, that was the addiction song. The with the Yeah, that's a good one. I absolutely love that one. You know,
Cerebral.
yes. And the Tiven band. Can't forget Ryan's band, Tiven. We had him on here too as well with Sorry Pluto. Um, also Chasing Airplanes. Straight for the Sun. I think you might have mentioned that one already.
Yeah.
Um,
And then,
eh,
yeah. And then Ode of Bones, and of course, the one and only guitar player for Catcher in the Rye here. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. This was a wonderful experience. I'm surprised I hung in there as long as I did. You know, that we're at 3 hours and about 40 minutes now. You know,
yes.
you know.
Oh, T-Bug, thank you so much for hanging out with me, dude. You are amazing, and I love your face. One, one day I will meet your Irish self. That would be amazing. I look. There's something about them accents, man. When you go like to Ireland and the UK, I don't know what it is. Drives a Florida girl crazy. Any hoots, William. Thank you so much for staying on for me as long as you did. I feel like I owe you a pie or something for 4 hours. Um, but what an amazing thing that we get to do it, and that's just promote all these bands and share the love and try to get their names out there. So if you guys could just go and check them out, their names are in the comments. So go click on them; it'll take you to their Facebook page. Like and share their stuff, and just tell them horns, man, horns. Show them
Yeah.
your horns.
Show them horns, buy some merch from them. I mean, most
Yeah.
of these guys got online stores. You know, support the bands in any way you can. And like, the biggest thing for me is like, I don't care if you go to the show, you don't go to the show. If you support the music, share the flyers, share the events. Subscribe to their channel, subscribe to this channel who's trying to bring new music to you guys. Like, I've heard so much new music tonight that a lot of these bands, some of these bands I've heard of, some of these bands I haven't. And I mean, I have a list right beside me on my desk right now of bands I'm definitely going to check out, even for my booking stuff. Bands I'd love to see here in Tampa play with other, acts that I know that are here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Sharing this kind of stuff, networking it can go a long way for a band. It doesn't have to be my band. It could be any of these bands we've named tonight or any of the bands that we do in the future. That's got to be the big thing, is just get out there, promote them. It takes nothing for you to share their flyers, to just share their event band. It takes nothing to do that.
It's just like simply a click away.
Exactly. Now, if we had, 10 people on this tonight, if we had 17 people, if we had 30 people on this, 100 people, imagine the network you do with different areas. Everybody's from a different, side of the state. Some of you are overseas, apparently, networking just any of these songs in your areas helps the bands greatly on their Spotify, helps them get paid through CD Baby, DistroKid, whatever it may be. Just that little bit of effort goes a long way to musicians like myself. And like I said, being a part of something like this is, to me, an honor to be a part of. So thank you, Osment, for having me. I look forward to maybe doing this again if you'll have me.
Absolutely. I mean, I might have some more cool little bands. I go on on an unsigned thing, and I just kind of just scroll and listen all day, and I pick some are faves, and some just hit the right spot in my soul. So I just message them and say what's up. I kind of go with the gut feeling on it all, and if they send me their stuff and I think it's really cool, then I'll
well, be sure to check out our EP that drops April 20th this month. It's a week away.
Yes.
The full EP that drops on Spotify, all social platforms. I think you can I think on Apple Music or iTunes, you can buy an early release, get it a couple days sooner if that's what you want to do. It greatly helps us. That's what helps us keep driving, keep doing what we're doing. And then following us on that, we're doing a tour run from Tampa to Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina to Tennessee. So, you know, all within this month, we're going to be hitting all those states. So if you've seen us,
Awesome.
heard us on Spotify, anything like that, just come to one of the shows if you can. Check us out. What we do live is something different than what you can hear on Spotify for sure. It's a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of the guys I'm with, like I said, I couldn't be happier with these guys. Good, down-to-earth people. Love being around them. Everybody else does. So I know you will too. So come check us out.
I can't wait to see you live. I'm gonna love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are going to end the show for the night. We are rocking on almost 4 hours. So we've played as many bands as we possibly can. I am out of names and choices, unfortunately. We are going to rock you out with an MP3 with also some of our promotional stuff. But me and William, we are going to head to that bed because I got to get up at 5 and he's got to get up at 4. So it's almost rocking about 10 o'clock. So we're gonna play a couple buddies of ours both actually. This is that's a mosquito. Scared me. Sorry, I'm like swatting in the middle of the air. You seen that whole little swoop, like I was shooting up a free throw. This is called Hereditary, and this is by our good friends Get Out of Nashville. So we are going to rock them throughout our promotional thing as we end the show. So go and check them out. Get Out of Nashville. We're going to rock them, and let me just kind of comment their names here. William, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this. It was great to have you help me in so many areas. It's really awesome to have someone on here to talk to instead of just kind of being on here by myself, you know. It makes it a lot more fun. So anytime you want to come on here with me, you just let me know and we'll rock it out. But I hope you guys have a good night. Horns to you all. Osment out. We're going to go rock into listening to Hereditary by Get Out of Nashville. William with Catcher in the Rye. Thank you so much, my love. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And you guys too as well.
No,
Don't forget to visit rockrageradio.com and Osment Entertainment for upcoming news and events. Just go to rockrageradio.com for your one-stop shopping.